Hello everybody, my name is Steven Woodson and you're watching Nerd Chat. Alright. In the last episode of Nerd Chat, I talked to you guys about the child timeline. In this episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about the fourth and final timeline of the Zelda franchise, the adult timeline. This one is really interesting and I really like the concept of this timeline. So here we go. The adult timeline starts out with the adult era, and Ganon is sealed away after being killed. After the end of Ocarina of Time. The Seven Sages seal him away into the Dark World, into the Sacred Realm, and pretty much the day is saved. Then there's an era without a hero. This era was told to us at the beginning of Wind Waker. And within this era, Ganon returns to lay claim to the Triforce again and Hyrule Kingdom. But without the hero, there was no hope for anybody anymore. So what happens is the Seven Sages seal Ganon back into the Sacred Realm and flood Hyrule. That's what they do. That is their ultimate solution to defeating Ganon, is seal him into the Sacred Realm and then flood Hyrule. That starts the next era of the gaming universe, of the Zelda universe, Wind Waker. In Wind Waker, Ganondorf returns. Again, for the third time in this timeline. I don't know. But he returns and causes chaos throughout the Great Sea. However, there are now islands within Hyrule, within the area of sea that used to be Hyrule. And these islands were actually the peaks and mountaintops of Hyrule. So basically, you're still running around through Hyrule, just the mountaintops of Hyrule. And you go around, you stop Ganon, and day is saved. Pretty much the gist of Wind Waker. However, this is the first game when you're not controlling a descendant of Link. Your character is named Link if you choose to keep the default name, but you're not controlling Link. But you're not controlling a descendant of Link. It is well known and is told from the very beginning of the game that you're not a descendant of, you're not the hero that he's looking for, but you turn out to be a hero, and you stop the evil. With Ganon now dead at the end of this game, you return to the overworld, and you and the new Princess Zelda, which turns out to be the most unlikely of people that you can ever think of. I'm not gonna. If you haven't played Wind Waker, I'm not gonna tell you who it is. I'm just gonna tell you what I want to what I pretty much want to tell you without getting too far into the game. But the next era, the era of the Great Voyage, kicks in, and the next game starts. Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass is pretty much Link and his new friend Tetra looking for a new place to call home. However, Tetra is a pirate, and yeah. They go on a quest, within their quest, to look for, the ghost ship. The ghost ship being filled with evil, and Tetra wants to go and teach them some manners. I don't know, she's that kind of a person. Anyway, Tetra gets kidnapped by the captain of the ghost ship. I don't know the evil guy's name. I tried to look for it, but I just wasn't able to find it. Which you would think that I would be able to find it, but I didn't. Anyway, Link gets in the attempt to save Tetra, Link gets washed up on shore of a mysterious island, which I found, but I forgot to write down. This is where the journey this is where the game starts. You find this ferry. This ferry takes you to the person that was taking care of it, and you go around finding 3 spirits: spirit of power, wisdom, and courage. Like, no duh. And with the power of these spirits, you gain access to the ghost ship. You fight the villain. Day is saved again. And for some reason, Tetra was turned to stone. I'm not exactly sure why, but oh well. Sometime in between the end of Phantom Hourglass and the start of the last game in the timeline, starts the era of Hyrule's rebirth. They set out to find a new world, and they found a new continent that they took over and renamed Hyrule. This starts Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks goes into a bit of this new continent's lore. This continent used to be run by a evil demon king. This demon king, which I also couldn't find the name to, which I found very weird, was sealed away by the spirits of the gods of this country, of this continent, and 100 years later, the Hyrule Kingdom is established, and your character named Link, which is of course the descendant of Phantom Hourglass's Link, becomes of age to where he can go to Hyrule Kingdom and get his engineering license, because his whole game is based around trains. He gets his engineering license, but Zelda's body gets kidnapped and her spirit gets kicked out of her own body. How they can do that, I have no idea. But her body was needed for something, and yeah. With the now new Spirit Zelda, Spirit Zelda is able to inhabit certain enemies at a certain period of time in the game to solve puzzles and all that kind of stuff. It's really interesting. I've watched a little bit of the game myself. I haven't played it, but I've watched a little bit of it. Throughout the course of the game, you find ways of getting into this demon half-world-ish thing. I don't know. And you get her body back. Zelda is reunited with her body. You save the day, and this demon king is put in his place. And that's pretty much it. Not very much in these branch games, in these branch storylines. I wanted to cover them in separate videos, only because they are important to the to what I'm wanting to say now. Now that I've finished that up and finished all the timelines, I want to go over a few opinions I have. When I heard that they were making a third branch, I thought, oh, okay, this is cool. I can see why they can do this. But then I found out that the hero would have been defeated. And I was like, okay, why? I've heard a few theories, and the theories I've heard, I wasn't agreeing on. The reason I told you is what I think in the second video of this mini series, and I like it. Link is so intertwined with the time. That Link in Ocarina of Time is so intertwined within the timeline that with his death causes a split in time, causing another whole timeline to happen. And when he's sent back to stop something, to stop the entire game from happening in the first place, he causes another split in the timeline. And I think the adult timeline is actually the true end up of the timeline itself. So yeah. I am so out of practice. Anyway, do I want to see more Zelda games? Sure I do. I love Zelda. As you can see, I'm wearing my Zelda shirt. So of course I want to see more Zelda games. But what part of the timeline do I want to see more of? Well, I want to see some of these major important parts of a game. Like, for instance, I want to see instances of the Imprisoned War. And I want to see instances of these wars in between the games that we don't get to see. Only read about within the game's lores and all that. If you're clever enough, you can find it. Apparently I'm not, because this is the first I've heard of some of these stuff. Anyway, do I want to see some of these timelines get expanded a bit more? Yeah. How do they do it? I don't know. Bring Ganon back. Bring Vaddie back. I don't know. Each timeline has the capability of bringing Vaddie back. They've already done it once in the second child timeline, so they still have a tendency. So they still have an ability to do it, but the adult timeline could be a bit hard to do that though. So they probably won't do it for the adult timeline. They could still do it for the hero is defeated timeline. Somebody finds the sanctuary of the Forsworn. They pull it. They find a way to release the seal, releasing the new Ganon and Vaddie. And who knows? Maybe they'll fuse the two together, creating a brand new enemy. Who knows? But that's pretty much all the thoughts I have to say on the issue. On that. Please do leave a comment in any of the videos of the official Zelda timeline if I got anything wrong. And just communicate. This is what these videos are about. It's called Nerd Chat for a reason. I'm initiating the conversation, and then you all are supposed to tell me what I've done, what I've said wrong, what your opinions are, what your theories on some of these aspects are, and just we chat about it. So yeah. In the next episode, guys, we'll talk about whatever and whenever and whatever you want. Whatever you want or I want. Now that I've talked about my favorite points in gaming that I wanted to talk about, first, I am now going to open up requests. So in any video that you see of mine, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube, just leave a comment. Leave a request about anything that happens to deal with your interests. It could be anything from comic books to movie series, TV shows, other different games, anything. It doesn't have to be Nintendo. It could be Marvel, DC, even some anime and manga. I do watch some anime and manga. I watch Sword Art Online, which is a good series, I might add. I've been trying to watch and get into Naruto, but I've been so busy and don't have the money to watch the series all the way through and get the newest manga series. So yeah, just go ahead, leave a request now. I'm opening that app, and I'll make a list and I'll tackle them one at a time as I get more time to do so. I don't work very much this coming week, so I'll try to do some more stuff then. So yeah, in the next episode I'll pick a topic. I'll talk about it until I see a request, the most recurring request on there, and I'll do some research on that on my off time. So, this has been Steven Woodson, signing out now.